So this is just a quick update. So on my last video update, I talked about how I was thinking about opening a haberdashery section on my store. And I was looking at different options for, could I open a new store and do it as a completely separate entity? I've looked at that and I can't, because I'd have to pay for a Shopify upgrade so that I could do that. And it's unaffordable upgrade for me. Given how much money I'm likely to make from the haberdashery section, it's not worth the effort. So what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks is I have been setting up a haberdashery section in my existing store. I downloaded the CSV from Etsy to draw across items, but of course it only takes across items that are still live. So most of what I have been selling in my Etsy store has now expired, because I'm trying not to use my Etsy store anymore. And the only thing keeping me on Etsy was the haberdashery. So I've had to manually copy and paste most of my listings from Etsy into Shopify, which has taken absolutely ages. And I've had to recheck every single listing as well for errors, because a lot of things haven't sold over time, and it may be that I've used a couple of buttons or used a meter of fabric, so I've had to recheck every single listing. So this update is to tell you that that haberdashery store is now up and running. I have got just under 200 listings, I think. Categories are, I have fabric, I have a category for metal zips, another one for plastic nylon zips, I have trims and embellishments and things. So I've tried to divide it up. And don't forget, I am not a haberdasher. I do not sell this stuff for a living, so there's not constant new stock coming in. So most of what you see on there now, some of it, like particularly like the fabric, some of it I have lots of meters of something. Some of it I might have only 1 meter of something. So it's really for crafters who are looking for small amounts. Buttons, I have all sorts of buttons. I still have loads of stuff to get on, but I wanted to get the store up and running so that people could start to have a look around, see if there's anything that they're interested in. I have lots of extra buttons to list, and of course, hopefully, fingers crossed, as I sell some of this stuff and make space, I can go through and I'll start finding more stuff as well. So that's really just a quick heads up to let you know that this store is now up and running. If you go into my store and do a drop down on the collections, you'll find haberdashery, and if you click on that, then you'll go in and you'll find the separate listings for the individual categories. I hope that's useful. I hope you find something you're interested in. I have just such a huge array of stuff, because it's mostly things that are left over from when I used to use those sorts of things, and there's also things that people have given me because they've had a clearance. I said, oh, well, you do fabric and buttons and stuff here, do you want this? So there's quite a few vintage things in there, particularly with things like zips. So there's some nice unusual colours and things like that. If you want to buy a lot of stuff, yeah, I combine the postage. I am going to be reviewing what's happening with US tariffs. I still haven't quite worked out how US tariffs affect like really small businesses like mine. So I had taken off US purchases for my store. Things obviously still haven't been resolved and keep changing, but it might be that small people like me who are just selling a handful of things abroad, as a a part-time business selling to individuals, may not be affected. So I need to read up on that and just be sure, because I would like to reopen up that market, because it does make a huge difference, and there might be things that you really want. But again, if you have any queries about bulk ordering and things like that, let me know. Postage is really hard to do on things like this. So small items, I've put a set postage, like a set of buttons, things like that, because they can go in like first class post. Bigger items like fabric, you might want multiple meters, which will make it really heavy. You might want one of this and one of that. So I can always negotiate postage costs, and if you pay postage and the system has calculated a higher postage because of what you're buying, I always refund the postage overages back to you. So you never pay more than you need to. And I will double check on postage. I will always weigh up and double check before things go out. So do have a look. Hope that's interesting. Hope you find it useful, and I'll speak to you again soon. See you then. Bye.